Happy New Year, Glory Reds Army, and welcome back to our first episode of 2024. Thank you for being with us thus far. We really appreciate your support, and we wanted to give you a very good episode to start off the year. To start off the year very, very strong. So thank you for being there with us. Thank you for supporting us. We ask you to continue to support us to help our channel grow. And with that being said, Happy New Year, Pastor D. What's good, my guy?
Happy New Year, my guy. Ah, man, when you're giving out those words of appreciation, it just brought me
Yeah,
back to when we actually first started this thing. And if you don't mind, I'd want us to talk a little bit about it before we get into this episode. Because this episode is a
please.
mid-season um recap, you know,
Yeah,
but a little bit about it. We have been, in this what you call this, we've been having meetings, we've been having conversations about how we can improve this channel and stuff like that and make it better, you know, for the channel, for the community, and just make it a very nice, produce better content, produce
yeah,
more content. And it
yeah.
just, reminded me of the days, like the first days when we started. Obviously we started on Spotify before we eventually
Yeah,
transitioned over to YouTube. And we were
yeah.
jumping around from like podcast software, trying to figure this thing out. In the beginning, we didn't even know how we're gonna go about it. We're looking for like screen recorders and
Hey,
like how we're gonna do it. Should we just jump on a WhatsApp call and then record in the background? There's just
it
so
was
many
crazy.
like
The
man.
ideas.
The journey was crazy. We bounced, and then even before we click record, we talked about the website, that we tried to have, and the blog articles that we tried to like upload, and like there was just so much. So we had the big dreams where we want the platform to be, and I think we've just
Yeah,
acknowledged that all these things are gonna come in time, right? But at the
yeah,
same
yeah,
time, we also, it was good that we made those like decisions to like axe a lot of the stuff and say these things will come in time. And then
yeah,
we just focused on what we needed to focus on, which was the content, the audios.
yeah,
And then obviously in December, we made that decision to be like, okay, I think we need to now show the listeners like who we are.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Who is
yeah,
behind the voices? Who is Don Benito? Who is D? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Let's see who these
yeah,
guys are. Jijay.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
man, it's been a fun ride. Um, I'm so excited for this year. We've spoken. We're
Me
so
too.
excited for this year to be jumping into
No,
like yeah,
now we promise to give them the football knowledge. Like we promise to
yeah,
preach to them what we see and how football is going.
yeah,
We love this. We did this
yeah,
because you and I were always on our phones like every single day,
yep,
sending 40-minute VN after 40-minute
fam,
VN after 50-minute VN after 7, 8, 9, 10,
yeah,
15-minute VNs. Like we
yeah,
went back and forth. And we talked about this
mm,
at some point, and it was like, D, let's do it. But at the time when we wanted to do it, things were just
mm,
we were not yet settled. And then
yeah,
when it happened, right, it happened quickly, but at the same time, it was
yeah,
one of those. I can't describe it, man. I'm just
yeah,
happy that
yeah.
we're here. I'm happy
True,
that
true.
we're able to contribute to the football conversation. I
Yeah,
think some of the stuff that we talk about is pretty much as good as everybody. Like we understand the game, and we try
yeah,
to. We're also learning. We are students of the game, so it's not like we are the experts or anything like that. No, 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 no. But we
yeah,
just love to have these conversations, and basically show people the conversations that we have every day, off,
yeah,
off camera.
yeah,
So yeah, 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 yeah. This is
yeah, yeah, yeah,
when I look at when the way I look at Glory Reds, and I know
yeah,
and I'm not even going to say this because I'm trying to get some sort of clicks or anything like that. But
yeah,
Fuhad and James in Shits and Gigs, they are
yeah,
like two homies that just chill there. having a chat, having a good laugh, and talking
Yeah.
about life, dating, all these things. You and
Mm.
we literally have the same energy, but then when it comes
Yeah.
to football.
Football.
So
Yeah.
we try, yeah, we are going to grow and grow until we reach the point where people can actually understand that, nah, these two, yeah, we get
Yeah.
it now. We get it,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I'm really looking forward
Yeah.
to
No. 100%.
2024. Looking forward to
Yeah.
bringing out new content and giving the people what they want,
Yeah, yeah, no, hundred
Yeah,
percent. So we encourage you guys. We know that a lot of you guys who are seeing like 5, 10 seconds of the video. Some of you are watching, a lot of the videos. Like if you find them interesting, subscribe. If you think someone else will find them interesting, share, and engage. Like we're always waiting and hoping for engagement. Like we said, it's not like what we are saying is the law. Like what we're saying is gold.
mm,
It is what it is now. We're also still students of the game. We're still learning. We're open to comments. We're open to criticism. We're open to other people's opinions. You know, Last year we also tried to get some people on the podcast as well so they could come and share their own opinions. Obviously we're talking about United fans, so we're open to open discussion. So don't feel shy. If you're watching the video, if you want to disagree with something in the comments, go ahead and disagree. We'll have a conversation about it. If you agree with
yeah,
some of the points, go ahead and add more to it. So we just want to let everyone know that regardless of us just presenting on YouTube or having the audios on the podcast, whatever. If you guys want to get involved, get involved. Get involved in the comments
yeah,
below. Conversate with us. We're gonna be there to reply to you guys. We want to talk about this football club that we love. We want to talk about football, the sport that we love. And just get involved with it and just be a big part of it. So yeah. But
yeah,
anyway, I think that's it. Like yeah, for some of you maybe who are watching this video for the first time, we started last year. Was it mid September? Was it mid August?
August.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah, August. Yeah, in
August.
August.
Yeah, yeah. Started mid August. Yeah, yeah. Around August. We have currently, I think currently we're on like what? Probably if you just in the podcast alone, we should be at least on like episode 80 something there. So yeah, so very soon we'll be hitting that 100 episode milestone, which we're very excited about, and hopefully we can do something special. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
that's the podcast. That's Glory Red. You guys haven't listened to the first episode that we made, it was basically just explaining the same story but differently. Obviously, we're 80 episodes later, and we're just like, for those guys who are just watching it for the first time. Again, you know what I
yeah,
mean. But anyway, man, let's get into this mid-season recap. We had one shortly earlier on a couple of months ago, and
yeah,
we said where we gonna be. Yeah, it was like a third recap episode of the season, whatever you want to
yeah,
call it. And we sort of had our predictions of where United would be. Like we spoke about Premier League, where we'll be on the table. We spoke about Champions League, if we're still gonna be in the competition. I can
yeah.
remember some of the predictions. I can't remember all of them. But I
I
think it's
don't
safe to
remember the
say,
prediction.
you know what? The only thing I
I don't.
remember, nah, I promise you, the
Yeah,
only thing I can remember is I remember saying United will still be eighth. But I think at that time when we did the episode was sitting at eighth. And my
and I
reasoning
said
was,
no.
yeah, you said no. And my
Yeah,
reasoning was the teams that are sitting above us, nah, um, I said that even if we win, they're also going to be winning. So basically, they're going to be maintaining that margin between us and them. That's why I'm like,
yeah,
even though we pick up form, they're still also. And I think at that time, like the points difference wasn't even like much. It was sorry, it was quite a big point difference. It wasn't marginal. So I'm like, even if
yeah,
we close that gap, we're still going to be, in that eighth position. So I didn't see us moving
yeah,
up by this period of time. And then Champions League, I think I predicted that will be knocked out into Europa, you know, or we,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I remember specifically saying I just don't see us making it out of the group stages. So
That,
my predictions, let me just put it like that. I vividly remember them, and not that I'm happy that they came
mm,
true, but
mm,
it's like you know what I mean, fam. It's like you don't want to. It's like you tell the like we still have delusional fans out there, and we talk about it almost every time on our podcast. Like, guys, like I know you think United are still this team over here, but we're
mm,
actually here. So
mm,
that
mm,
prediction was based on. me just understanding where United's level is right now that people are
mm,
failing to see. And I'm looking at
mm,
all these teams that are sitting above us, and I'm like, these guys are way more consistent than us. They're playing better
mm.
football than us. Um, it man, like for the chances of us being on top of them by this period, it's like almost impossible. You check. And so it sort of lies like that. So like I said, I predicted eighth. We're currently seventh, but the point difference between us, Newcastle, um, and Brighton, who basically still have a game in hand because they're gonna be playing
Mm.
today, is by 1 point.
Yeah,
And Newcastle
yeah.
2 points behind us. Newcastle are playing Liverpool, so maybe Liverpool can do us a favor and keep Newcastle at bay.
Keep
But
them
if
at
not,
bay. Yeah.
you know what I mean. And if Brighton win as well, then we will want to be actually ninth. Forget about eighth. We want to be ninth if Brighton and Newcastle win today. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
So we really need West Ham and Liverpool. Like
Yeah.
I'm even cringing saying it. Like we need those
Dude,
guys to beat them. Like
exactly. And the worst thing about that West Ham are one of the teams that were competing for top four. You know, so
mm,
in games like this, the best result you're actually hoping for is a draw. Like you just hope Newcastle draw with Liverpool, and you just hope that West Ham draw with Brighton. With Brighton,
fam,
if
like
they draw, if Brighton draw, they're actually going to be ahead of us because they have a better goal difference than us. So we'll be level
of
points.
course,
You know what I mean?
of
And then they'll
course.
have a better goal. So yeah, man, we're back to minus on goal difference. By the way,
I'm not surprised. I mean, because we're not scoring goals, so yeah, that is a
yeah,
concern. And even
yeah,
like this is why I was like, we just need to get knocked out of everything so that we can focus on our football. So that like
yeah,
because you can't be in the top four and have a minus goal difference. It makes no sense because you're literally going to be tossed around that top four. Like you are the one who's going to be moving
yeah,
up and down because you're going to have to win all your games, whether it is 1
yep,
nil, 2-1, you're gonna have to win all of them. And then
yeah, yeah,
those other teams that are you hope that they'll draw and lose, and also
yeah,
if they win, but they don't win, so that you can. It's madness. It's madness, bro. No,
yeah,
no, no, no.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't remember.
yeah,
I don't remember my predictions. Like
yeah,
I don't know why, but I don't know
yeah,
if I said that we will be closer to top in the top six, or I don't know. I think I said we'll break in,
yeah,
but
yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
you know
One
United
thing
can
I
really
remember
drive
you
you
saying,
crazy.
one thing I remember
Yeah,
you it can. The only thing I remember you saying was when I spoke about the other teams are gonna be winning, right? And I think you
yeah,
said that every team is going to have their time where they're gonna drop points, where they're gonna go through like a crazy run of
and
losing.
they
And
did,
right now,
and they did.
Arsenal are experiencing it. Arsenal like have
Yeah,
just been, I think it's 3 games off the bounce they have lost, you
bro.
know.
Even
But
Even Newcastle.
but yes, even Newcastle.
Mm.
And here's the big but. The thing is, that gap between United and those teams was already established. That even if they went through their bad patch, we equally needed to go through a good patch, but we didn't. So there are lots of opportunities we had to challenge for top four. There was literally a point where I think we were like, what? Was it a point behind City when City were fourth? I think it was
Yeah,
no, it was 3 points. We're 3 points behind City. Yeah, we're
and
three
then we
points behind
fumbled.
City. And then we fumbled. You check. And now how many points behind City? And now we are 9 points behind City, and they have a game today. 9 points. And they have a game today. And we were
Wait,
three
City has
points
a
behind
game
them.
today.
That's how much we fucked up. Yeah, City, I think playing today. Maybe if it's not
No,
today,
they
it's
play.
tomorrow. But basically, they have a game in hand. No, fam. Down 19 games. Everyone has played 20 except Liverpool,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
City,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
West Ham, Brighton, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Brentford. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, that I think
So
they're
yeah,
always going to
it'll
have
it'll
that
probably
game in
be
hand.
like oh
A
yeah,
double
yeah,
game
yeah.
week.
It's probably gonna be a double game week. Yeah, yeah, true, true,
Yeah.
true, true, true. Cause Bournemouth played um did Bournemouth? Tottenham. They played Spurs yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day
Yeah.
before? One of the two.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't
Yesterday.
matter.
Yesterday.
Was it
Yeah.
yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. So yeah, now I've even lost my point. But yeah, basically, I just remember saying that, yeah, that gap has really been like, it's it's so big that even though they go through a bad period of time, we also need to go through a good period of time, and which we haven't. We haven't managed to consistently even win two games in a row consecutively. It's that
Hey man, that's
win lose. Man, it's
it's
horrible. It's horrible, man.
it is annoying, bro. Like it
Mm,
I can imagine those people that succumb to mental illness or mental, like when they get frustrated, like United can really cause a lot of mental health problems, bro. Like this up and down thing, and I don't think these guys even realize it. I don't think they realize the
yeah,
responsibility that has been given to them. You know what I mean? I don't think these players
yeah,
understand
yeah.
how huge Manchester United is. I don't think so. It has just been something that
Mm,
they're riding a wave of, or basking in the wave of the, like, all the other greats that have come and done the job. They're just riding through that wave.
yeah,
We don't have the.
true.
It is thick. I mean, okay, it's very unfair to say this about everybody, because I can honestly say that there are some players who are really playing for Manchester United. They,
Yeah,
even though they don't perform every game week, but you listen to the way they talk, the way they carry themselves, even the passion that they show, you can tell that this is they're bleeding United. They're just certain players
yeah,
that are United just for show, or United
yeah,
by default. I don't get it, because
yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
D, we need. I actually wanted us to jump before we actually go too much into this. I wanted us to jump into the Nottingham Forest game, because
yeah,
there are a couple of things there that we need to talk about, man. Because we
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
actually get an opportunity to jump on and do the match reaction.
yeah.
So I wanted to jump onto that game and like discuss how pathetic and how disrespectful that performance was from those guys. No, it was disrespectful, T.
Yeah,
It was fucking disrespectful, and
yeah. It
there's
was.
nothing
It
that
was.
you guys can tell us. I don't get it. Like, do they
Yeah,
not know that they are playing for us? Yes, they're earning the money that they're
mm,
getting. But then say we don't
yeah,
fill those stadiums up. Who are they playing for?
mm,
Do they know
mm,
that?
mm,
Like, do they understand it? Like, what goes through
mm.
their head? You go and put a very good second 45 against Aston Villa, like one of the best 45 minutes of the
Yeah,
season. You know, this season, like we pick, like you can't honestly say that United have had a full game that is good. You're picking moments. Oh, that game you had 45 good minutes. Like, is that how low
mm,
we have?
mm,
Is that like how low we have stooped? Where we picking?
mm,
So
mm.
like the Aston Villa game, the second 45 obviously was better than the first 45, because the first 45 we were getting smacked up. But in the second 45, we did the business. We came back and won that game. Yay!
Yeah,
Then we go and play Nottingham Forest. And I remember we talked about it. Like, we get it. You've just beaten Villa. Villa are a different beast. But then again, there are also different beasts in the Premier League. These young are not younger, sorry. These
yeah,
small teams, they're not small. Like, they're hungry. They've got
yeah,
players that are hungry, you know? Then you go
yeah.
and put that
Hmm.
lackluster performance. It was, I don't know, man. I don't know. And
Yeah.
here's another thing, like the manager. Oh my god, the gaffer has to take some flack for this, because he did something that
Hmm.
just didn't make sense to anybody. But
Yeah,
again, there is a discussion that we need to have, D, because everybody is on Scott McTominay's head.
yeah,
And I can honestly sit here and say that yes, I've given Scott McTominay stick, because for the right reasons. We put him in a
yeah.
position where he doesn't belong, and I criticize that. I criticize the way he
Mm,
deals with situations on the pitch. I don't criticize
Yeah.
Scott McTominay as a person. I'm not saying that he's a shit person. No, apparently he's a very
Mm.
very nice dude. Like he's a very likable
Mm.
guy. But the way we're deploying
Yeah.
him, I can scrutinize that. I don't think that it is right. Right?
Mm.
Then this thing happens, and everybody, like, we've been, a lot of fans, we've been complaining that, nah, Scott McTominay is this, Scott McTominay is that. But now I'm seeing that people are blaming him even for this loss. And I actually think that it
Yeah.
is wrong. I actually disagree with a lot of people. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna defend him because I will defend the just for the right things, because there are, you can explain what happened.
Yeah.
It's not just
Yeah.
100% it is Scott McTominay's fault. No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
And that is what, and
Mm.
that is the narrative that is out there. Scott McTominay cost us
Yeah.
that game. No, the
Yeah.
gaffer cost us that game, and
Yes.
something else costed that game, not Scott McTominay. Scott McTominay was part of the problem, but he's not the direct
Yeah.
problem when we are always trying to find a scapegoat for something. Scott McTominay is not
Yeah.
it. And I can sit here and
Yeah.
challenge with people because I don't think it's fair. I really don't think it's fair. But
Yeah.
having said that, my guy, please, that game we always start with the starting lineup, my guy. Please hit
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
That starting lineup. Let's
Yeah.
discuss
let,
it.
let, let me
Let's
let me
discuss. Oh yeah,
yeah,
you
man.
wanted to
That's
say
that starting lineup.
no, no, no.
No,
Sorry,
like
you
no,
wanted
it's
to
it's
add.
fine. I agree. Yeah, I wanted to add, but it's fine. Let's start with the starting 11, then I'll get to that whole Scott McTominay thing. But starting 11, Andre Onana, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, and Luke Shaw on the flanks, and centre halves pairing of
No, no, no.
Varane and
Delo,
Johnny Evans. And then, yeah, Delo. Sorry, what did I
Delo.
say? Did I say Luke Shaw?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Delo and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Okay, my bad. And then yeah, Varane and Johnny Evans centre back pairing. In the midfield, Eriksen, Kobe, Bruno Fernandes, and then up front we had Marcus Rashford, Anthony, and Garnacho. Rasmus did not start due to illness. So yeah, that was the
yeah.
starting 11 that Ten Hag basically deployed against Nottingham. Now, you spoke about the whole Scott McTominay thing. I understand what you're saying,
Yeah.
and I 100% agree with you. But I think the way people are using Scott McTominay, not as a scapegoat, but pointing a finger, I don't think it's necessarily blaming Scott McTominay, but just
Mm-hmm.
alluding to the fact that if there was any player like Scott McTominay who was substituted in, it was still going to be he's the reason why, not him himself, but the sole fact that he was in the team, like, destabilized our midfield, which created opportunities for them to go and create chances to score, if that makes sense. So, yes, it's the
Okay.
manager's fault for putting in Scott McTominay, but Scott McTominay is the reason why you can say we lost, because the midfield was disrupted, because he's not that type of player that needs to be in that position to do the job in that position. You understand? So, for
Okay.
example, if we put, I'm trying to think of a very redundant, useless, example, like if any other player that, for example, maybe we put De Gea in that position. I'm just giving a stupid example. If we put De Gea in that
Okay.
position, expected him to play a midfield, a center midfield position, and he's a goalkeeper, then we'll come and say we've
Yeah.
lost because of De Gea. You know what I mean? Because he had no contribution in that midfield, which led to the chances being created for us to go and lose that game. Is it unfair to blame it on Scott McTominay? 100%. Can you blame the whole loss of the game on Scott McTominay? No. But was it a factor that gave them an opportunity for them to go create chances to score goals? Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, I will argue with that, and I will even now go into the technicalities, because now here's my thing. Those goals came from the right
Yeah,
flank, left flank, like the left side of our pitch,
left.
meaning Dalot, where Dalot was defending.
Yeah,
That ball, those goals came
yes,
from
yes.
that angle. That angle was being bombarded, it was
Mm.
being attacked, and that's where the attack was coming from. Now,
Yeah,
people don't want to have this conversation, which I don't understand. But if that wing was shut down,
yeah,
we were not going to be having this problem.
yeah,
Because here's another thing,
yeah,
it's easy to blame Scott McTominay because we know that Scott McTominay in that situation, it's not him. And this is why I'm even defending him even more, because I'm like,
Yeah.
Scott McTominay is going to be confused in that situation. He's going to let it in. But there are players that were supposed to
Yeah.
help that situation, and we are not talking about that. We're just easily taking it to Scott
Yeah.
McTominay.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying. It's not fair. Do
Yeah.
you understand? So I'll go into this.
Yeah.
And I know some
Yeah.
people might not like this, but okay. Elanga was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
terrorizing Dalot. He was literally terrorizing Dalot. Why didn't Dalot stop him? Why?
Mm.
Do you think if Aaron Wan-Bissaka at that particular moment, now maybe now this is me starting something, but I'm just saying, looking at the way we tackle, the way we do things.
Yeah.
Remember D, remember when I
Mm.
said that we are missing Casemiro and we are missing Lisandro Martinez. If Licha,
Yeah.
let me tell you 100%, if Licha was in that team, that ball, that second goal, that coming into that box was never going to happen. This is what I'm talking about. Why
Yeah.
is it only left to
Yeah.
CDMs and everybody else to do that pressing thing? Dalot literally stood there. He stood there and looked at that ball go.
Yeah.
Why did he make the tackle? Now,
Yeah. Yeah.
unfortunately for
Yeah. Yeah.
Scott, like, bless him, he was there. What he was doing with Dalot, I don't know, but he was there. Do you understand? Now, this is something that you would expect. You would expect it from Dalot. I get it. I mean, from Scott McTominay,
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But then there are other players, man, that are supposed
Yeah.
to also take responsibility for that goal. Onana, you
Yeah.
know, people like, I'm sick and tired of this. This guy
Yeah.
must go. Like, he should go and stay. Like, he must just come back to Africa and stay here. Like, no. The amount of goals we are seeping in just don't make sense. Dog, we've talked about his positional play. Like,
Yeah.
we get
Yep.
it that David De Gea used to have some very dodgy patches. But my God, some of the
Yeah. Yeah.
goals we are leaking. Nah, man. No. No.
Mm-mm.
Now,
Mhm.
I'm giving the blame now to Erik Ten Hag, because now this is where now I feel like this is the way we need to take this problem. Erik Ten Hag
Yeah.
destabilized that midfield because we know that Scott McTominay is not a CDM. We know
Yeah.
it. He's the one
Yeah.
that destabilized that thing. He's the one that
Yeah.
created that mess. So this
Yeah.
blame, if we are looking for somebody to blame, it's either
Yeah.
we distribute the blame to everybody and pick out,
Yeah.
like, I don't think it's fair, or we direct it straight to the gaffer. But this thing
Yeah.
of like it's Scott McTominay because
Yeah. Yeah.
like, we're tired of him. This is a very toxic trick that we do. We just be
Yeah.
like, like you pointed out the other time to me when you're like, like Maguire.
Mm.
Sometimes we just go in on him, even if he's not, even if he's doing well. But because we've been annoyed with him, we just have this
Yeah.
tendency of just going in on him and just picking out his problem. Nah,
Yeah.
this is not fair.
Yeah.
Scott McTominay is not to blame. He is, but he's not alone. Let us be
Yeah.
fair.
Yes.
We
Yes.
can't
Yes.
just target one
Yeah.
player alone. My captain Magnifico
Yeah.
was nonsense. Rashford was
Yeah.
nonsense. Like, everybody was crap.
Yeah.
I think the only people that I
Yeah.
could, like, give praise and say were the defenders. I don't think they really did too much wrong because they were dealing
Yeah.
with a hungry side.
Yep.
Like, they were just keep on being bombarded, and everybody
Yeah.
else was just Anthony. Man, that guy can go back to Brazil. Like, bye. I don't even want to
I'm
hear
also
it.
done. I'm
I
also
don't want
done,
to
eh?
hear that he's going to get better. I don't like, yo,
Dude,
if there
I
are
also don't
issues
want to
that you're
hear it.
going through it, we understand. Like, speak to somebody, do something,
Yeah.
but what you do on the pitch, nah, 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 nah.
Mm.
Dude, I wanted to
Yeah.
mention something real quick just before we carry on. I was watching that City
Yeah.
game against this recent one, and they took out Jack
Mm.
Grealish, right? And I remember
Yeah.
hearing the commentators talking about emotional stress, like he's being taken
Okay.
out because of emotional stress, and I was like, oh,
I think it
that,
was
that
that incident. I think it was that
And I was like,
incident
okay.
because yeah, because remember, his house got broke into when he was playing.
Oh
It just
yeah.
happened recently. Yeah, yeah, his house
Yeah.
got broke into. So I think maybe that's what it was about. Yeah.
The
So it
guy had
seems to be
played
a
like
problem in
60
Manchester.
minutes or something.
Yeah.
Emotional stress. And I was like, oh, that is interesting. So I'm like,
Mm,
Anthony, if and Rashford, if like you guys are going through this emotional stress thing, like you might as well just
mm,
emotional stress. We'll know, like
yeah.
just bounce.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, man, like honestly, guys, it's not Scott alone. Like I really think it is
True.
unfair. I really do. It's not
Yeah.
right. It's not right.
Yeah, yeah.
God forbid Ilanga had something to prove, bro. He came out, you
Mm,
heard what
mm.
he said. You know, you're in a
Yeah,
team,
dude.
you play, I don't know, you play 10 minutes, 8 minutes,
Uh,
and then next minute you don't play, and then they expect you to be on it every season.
mm.
But what he said made sense. Like I even felt
It did.
embarrassed for thinking at one point like, man, Elanga
Mm,
just bounced. We need, because at the time we needed,
mm,
that's the problem. Football is demanding. We
mm,
want, we want, we want. We need, we
mm.
need, we need.
That's
We
the
need
thing.
new wingers. We need new
Hmm.
strikers. At that time, no one in that team was
Yeah,
performing. We needed fresh blood, you know.
exactly.
So he was
Yeah,
collateral damage. It was just one of those things, and he wasn't really
dude.
performing. It's crazy. You can't.
You
But
know,
when he
Ben. You
said
know,
it,
Ben. It the thing
uh,
with Elanga, it's not like he wasn't performing. He wasn't playing. He wasn't playing. What are we supposed to see in 10 minutes? You know what I
true.
mean? When we know that the forward players are always starved for balls, what are we supposed to see? So I 100% agree with them. I was upset. I was one of the people in that camp that was upset when Ilanga got sold. I'm like, why? Why
Mm,
is he getting sold? Because I'm
mm,
pretty sure, Ben, you're gonna feel the same way if Pelistri gets sold. And no one can come
mm,
and tell you that no, Pelistri wasn't performing. You're gonna argue with them and say he
yeah,
wasn't getting game time. He wasn't playing.
yeah,
What did you expect us to see in 5, 10 minutes? You know? So I 100% agree with Elanga that look, dude, like I remember when he even first burst onto the scene. I remember even like we're almost putting him in the same conversation as Greenwood, and said that boy, we can't wait for Elanga and Greenwood to be players in this first
true.
team.
I remember.
You know what I
I
mean?
remember.
And look at what Elanga is doing now, fam. And he's only gonna get better. And he's playing for a team arguably worse than what Greenwood is playing for. Because at least
Yeah,
Getafe is a better team than Nottingham. You check. So now imagine if
yeah.
Elanga was playing in a team like Brighton, in a team like West Ham. You know what I mean? Maybe even in a team
We
like
will see a
Spurs.
problem.
You understand what I'm saying, fam? But he's playing for Nottingham, dude. That guy's career trajectory, it's gonna pick up. I wouldn't even be surprised that if he does very well, Chelsea come knocking at his door and saying, "My guy, we want you." I wouldn't be surprised. So that's a player I just felt that was really hard done, in this situation. And you spoke about Anthony. I'm also done with Anthony. Because you see Ahmed come in for like 10 minutes and he does more
Ah,
than what Anthony has done the whole season. And you're
ah,
like, what's even the point of
bro.
starting Anthony at this point?
Ah,
You
bruh.
can't have this boy who went off on loan, comes back, gets injured, and the first 10
Ah,
minutes he's lighting up the scene. And he didn't even get so many chances on the ball. You could already feel he was more in tune with the game and the players than Anthony. This dude was left wing, right wing. There was one point I'm like, what are you even doing over there? Drifting in the middle, pinging passes. He was just too like Ahmed is just too fast. I don't know if you noticed it. He's
he
fast, Ben.
is.
He needs
He's
he
rapid.
needs players. You know who Ahmed needs. Ahmed needs players like Martial to play with. He needs players like Greenwood to play with because those boys are just
Even
gonna be
Hoyland.
pinging fast passes. Even
Yeah,
Hoyland, just gonna be
even Hoyland.
pinging fast passes between each other. It's gonna be ping, 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 goal. I promise you. That boy's feet. I'm like, oh my god. You know what I mean? Like, can we relax? I'm still losing my mind over Mainu, and I have brought in Ahmed here. You know what? Fam. If those two play at the same time, I swear I'm gonna have a stroke. Those boys, no, fam. I'm done.
It's
I'm
going
done.
to happen, fam. It's going to
Dude,
happen very
they are making our senior players look like they don't know how to play football. I'm telling you, Ben.
man.
Because these kids, and you know what I like about these kids that are playing this modern football that I keep talking about, Ben? This fast pace, pass. Not this thing of look, I get Ten Hag's MO is possession football. I get it.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Ben, when you see these other teams playing this modern football that they've adapted to, it's ridiculous. Look at who is this guy at Wolves? Who just took over? Oh, no, not just took over. Did he just take over? Wolves got a new manager, yeah? I said Wolves.
Uh,
But anyway, Wolves, ne? I don't
no,
know.
Nottingham Forest got a new manager. I don't, Wolves, I'm not
Nottingham
sure.
Forest got a new manager and they're playing this nice modern football. But also Wolves.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen a Wolves game of late. You know, I've watched like the previous two Wolves. Ben,
same here.
the football they're playing, I'm like, I don't want to meet Wolves. I don't want to meet them because these
I
guys have
do.
got it. The way the
I
ball
do.
is moving,
I
Ben,
wanna.
I'm like,
I
these
know.
United boys can't keep up with that pace. They can't. You know,
Mm,
the only thing honestly that works to our advantage with them playing this modern football against us is that we can hit them on the
yeah.
break. But the other problem to this modern day football is that they've also adapted the high line. You check what I mean, which
Yeah.
in turn makes us a lot of the time get found out in these offside traps. Offside. But obviously, when we do get it right, it's just about getting it right. But nah, Ben, this season, like football, you can really see like the evolution of football, especially in this season, because the teams that have adapted and have spent time season after season trying to perfect it, it's like this season they've perfected it, and we are still lagging behind. You know, and these guys are just going for it. I mean, fucking hell, fucking Moyes, fam. Moyes. If Moyes can adapt to modern day football and you can see what he's doing at West Ham, why the fuck is United in seventh place? You know,
D. I can answer
it's
that.
mad. It's maddening, Ben.
It's the profiling. They are doing the right scouting. You look at the
Yes.
players. You know, I'm actually happy you talked about West Ham because West Ham is one team that has got players that are gems. That
Yep.
team,
Yep.
people should like. I know they won't. Well, if they do, cool.
Yeah.
If they don't, it's still cool. But they
Yeah.
have got players in there that are just on steroids. Like they are on something. And when I say
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
something, I don't mean like they're really good. They are very
Yeah.
underrated players. You look at Kudus, Bowen,
Mm-hmm.
Ward Prowse.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yep.
midfield is insane.
Yep.
West Ham have bought a defensive midfielder that I wish we got, and he was from Ajax. I think he's some Alvarez guy. That guy is so good. We haven't seen the best of him. Like West
Yeah.
Ham have got a
Yeah.
team.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
the only thing that they need
Mm.
to add into that team is get like a very established defender, like somebody that just flies under the radar.
Striker.
No, defender,
Oh
defender,
yes.
because
Yes. Okay. Okay.
Bowen. I mean, yeah, they can add a striker, but Bowen is doing the job.
Bowen is not a
He's
striker.
evolving, but he's evolving.
Yes.
He is
Yes.
evolving
Yes.
to that
Yes.
target man. Like you can see it. Like his goals,
Yeah.
bro. Like the goal he scored against Liverpool on his birthday.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
a ping, drops it down. He comes like a striker.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's changing. Like I won't be
Yeah.
surprised he literally takes over from Antonio or something like that, or he has
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
little battle with Antonio.
Yeah.
But like what
Yeah.
you said, you're right. Like teams have changed. The football
Mm.
is going in a different direction. And you know what's
Yep.
funny? It seems like it's our kids, our youngsters that seem to
Yep.
understand it, understand the memo. I
Exactly.
don't know if it is generational thing or something. I can't really nail it. But
Yeah.
the kids seem to get it.
Yeah.
And I know this is not something
Mm-hmm.
like I know people when they hear this, they're gonna be like, oh fucking Ben, what are you on about? But I'm thinking class of 92, right? Class of
Yeah.
92, those guys, they all graduated at the same time. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to be class of 92-esque, but the amount
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
juniors or academy players that are actually helping us and helping us improve is actually quite big,
Yep.
because we're talking Kambwala, we're talking
Yep.
Kobe Mainu, we're talking Hannibal,
Yep.
we're talking
Mhm.
Ahmad, we're
Mhm.
talking, well, Ahmad, is he,
Mhm.
can we call him that?
Or we
Pelestri,
still got him young in stores in that
yeah,
Pelestri,
but yeah,
Garnacho.
Garnacho, like we still have a lot of youngsters. Now,
Yep.
I
Alvaro
don't know.
Fernandez.
You see, we've got some kids on loan.
Hmm.
Now, I don't know
Mhm.
if we are ready or if United can do this. I don't know. But then these kids, I don't know why not give them a fucking shot. Let's see.
Yep.
Like, let's try,
Mhm.
especially up front. Up
Yep.
front, we have tried everything. Literally.
Mm.
Like, these
Yep.
guys have got no excuse.
Nope.
Like, if the gaffer decides, like, I'm taking out my entire front three, leaving
Yep.
Garnacho,
Dude.
and I want to put new guys in. Like, I don't think those guys deserve to complain. I don't think anybody will complain.
Mm-mm.
Like, I think we'll
Nope.
start to see something. But man,
Dude.
we need to
Dude.
score goals, dude.
Ronaldo.
Fuck that.
Ronaldo scored more
Bro,
goals in the calendar of 2023 than the whole fucking.
bro, bro.
You know what
We
and he's 38. You know what I saw that stat? I just wanted to vomit. I just wanted to vomit. I'm like, you United, you can't be this disgusting. You cannot be
like,
this
look,
disgusting. A player,
those
a
goals would
one
have helped.
player.
Those
Exactly.
fucking goals would have helped.
Exactly. Exactly.
They would have. Oh my
It's
god.
sickening, Ben. It's sickening. It's sickening how this team can't score goals. It's disgusting. And you know, Ben, like I know Peter says it a lot in the group, but I 100% agree with him. Like in the
Yeah.
beginning, I used to resist and fight with him, and try and back United as much as possible. But I'm not going to lie, Ben. I can't help it anymore. I enjoy
Uh-huh.
watching other teams play than United. I really do. Watching United is
Wait,
just an
see,
eyesore. It's an
wait,
eyesore,
wait,
Ben.
wait. You're saying this like this is breaking news, bruh. I've been enjoying other people's football for like since since the heavy metal came into picture. Like, nah, you shouldn't feel guilty. Man, I've been enjoying
Dog.
heavy
It
metal
is an
Liverpool,
eyesore.
silky Man City,
Yeah.
crazy Arsenal. Like last season, Arsenal, I was enjoying their football. This
Yeah, yeah,
season, I'm
yeah.
enjoying the revival of Wolves, like you mentioned. I mean, like I enjoyed watching Nottingham
Yeah,
Forest. I was
yeah.
like, wait, what?
Dude. Dude.
We are playing shit. We United is
Yeah.
playing shit. Those guys have not get. Those guys
Yep.
owe us. Those players, they fucking
They
owe
do.
us 10 games of
Damn.
beautiful football, of attacking football, like they do.
Mhm.
Like I am expect. I keep on having this thing. Like I always say it. I'm gonna keep on saying it. Kase when he comes back, Licha when he comes back. You know, get a little bit of that energy in there. Get that that hunger,
Mm, mm.
because those guys, when they make a
Yeah.
tackle, it inspires these guys. When Licha blocks somebody like he's mental,
Yeah.
it inspires guys to fight. Like
Mm,
one player's action can
mm.
inspire or galvanize. So I really believe that
Yeah.
those two coming in are going to add something. It's crazy. I'm not talking about Mason Mount, but Mason Mount, that's going to be a
Yeah.
conversation for another day, because I still think
Dude, fucking
we
hell.
have a player there. I really do believe we have got a good player there. It's just that we've had a very crazy,
Yeah, yeah,
no,
yeah.
we've had a very fucked up season.
No, I
He has
hear
also
you.
come
I hear
in
you. Yeah.
and has been given, like, unrightfully given the number 7 shirt. He's been injured.
Mm,
Like, forget all that. Deep down,
yeah.
like behind closed doors, in our hearts, we know that we've got a very good player in Mason Mount. We just want to be
Mm.
annoyed that he's just not doing what he was doing at Chelsea.
At Chelsea. Yeah.
But we and it's almost lazy to say that we need to wait until we get there. But the truth is,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
do. We do.
True.
Unfortunately, we do. And these guys, when they come back, I really wish they give us that fucking 10 game where we are like, okay, where we don't feel like, these guys are going to, because we're back. We're back to 19 foot tech, we're back to the early days, we're back to
Mm.
where you're just not sure. You make a prediction, you're just like, yeah, finder, it's just a hagga kind of situation. What
Exactly.
do you think this
Yeah,
game is
yeah,
going
yeah.
to be? Then you make a prediction out of passion or out of whatever, but
Mm.
you know smack
Yeah.
us, go back into our cave, blah blah blah. So, dog, when we
Yeah.
get our points, believe, I
Yeah.
honestly believe, i i I can't say much, but I believe,
Yeah.
because we just
Yeah.
need a couple of characters more in our team for it
Yeah.
to be stable, because the strong guys are gone, like they're out. They're the ones. They
Yeah.
were really they
Yeah.
were really the guys that used to push us. So I'll never stop
Yeah.
preaching about this. Tase and Licha,
Yeah.
I really believe,
Yeah.
because when I see some of the mistakes that we're making, those are the things that
Yeah.
those guys iron out. They iron out that shit all the time. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
No, true. True.
so
True. True.
going
Yeah. No,
forward, D,
100%. We just have to. Yeah.
moving forward, do you? Well, I mean, obviously, I'm always preaching this thing where I'm always saying, like, if we get these guys back, blah blah blah. What are your thoughts in
Yeah.
that scenario? Because I don't think you've ever given your thoughts in, like, w- how you feel if we get the guys back, or do you think it's gonna be the same? Do you think we're just going to keep on win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one, and then special occasion draw? You know, Easter
Yeah.
maybe we'll get a draw. Or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Yeah, the reason why I've never like given my thoughts about is because, to be honest, I just don't know. I don't know because last season, um,
Mm,
yes, when we had all those players in question, all well and good, but you know, the other players were doing what they needed to do, and they're not doing it this season. Rashford was on a goal scoring run. Bruno was just on it with the assists, and Ericsson as well. Um, who else am I
but
missing?
Bruno,
Weghorst, even though he didn't score any goals, played an important role in that team. Who else can I say? Garnacho coming in as well, off the bench, really contributed a lot to the side. Anthony was stable. He wasn't as bad as he was this season. You know what I mean? He was okay. He was doing what he needed to do. But yeah, man, other than that, this side hasn't given me enough for me to say, even if we get back Licha, even if we get back Casimiro, are we going to have the ability to go and score goals? You check. Because it's not like it, and I get your point in terms of the players giving motivation by the way they play and they drive the team, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, they're not the ones who are scoring the goals. The ones who are scoring the goals and doing the thing for us last season are currently playing in this side and they're just not doing it at all. You check. So I don't know, like, I don't know how much of a significant difference it's going to make in terms of us scoring goals. What I can speak for is our defense will definitely become more rock solid. You understand what I mean? That's one thing I can testify to and say, yes, we're gonna probably leak in less goals than what we have leaked in currently so far this season. But if we want to be talking about goal scoring, I don't know. Ben, it's this team, fam. It's man, it's so polarizing. You know, like we spoke, they go and do it against teams like Brentford. They go and do it against teams like Aston Villa. They go and do it against teams like Bayern. Albeit we didn't win, but that first game that we played against them, it was like, where has this been all this time? You know, and then we go and get performances like Nottingham. We go and get performances like Bournemouth. And you're like, what the hell is going on here? How are we even losing? How are you giving us this amount of effort, initiative? You know, and I hate it because it always gets down to this conversation of, oh, there have been leaks in the dressing room. The managers lost the dressing room. The players are not playing for the manager. Boom, the match comes. Then all those things are contradicted. You know what I mean? All those
Mm,
questions are being answered. And then there's happiness in the press conference. Ten Hag is laughing. Blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Then the next game, boom, rinse and repeat. Articles back out again. Players are not playing for the
mm,
manager. You understand? So it's just the same story,
mm,
different week, same. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm sick and like I'm honestly sick and tired of listening to post match conferences. I'm sick and tired of listening to pre match conferences because it's just the same of the
mm,
same bullshit every single game week. If we want to have a good performance, I know what's going to be said. If we want to have a bad performance, I know what's going to be said. You know,
true.
I'm
True.
tired of listening to Ten Hag defending Scott McTominay. I know you said that Scott McTominay is not the one to blame, but I'm just talking about in the entirety of the season. I'm sick and
Yeah.
tired of Ten Hag. It sickened me. I know that game I was laughing, but it sickened me when Ten Hag went and made Scott McTominay captain for that game that we had Bruno missing. And I remember we were even joking about it in the preview. And I'm like, he's most
You mean
probably gonna
Liverpool?
make Scott McTominay captain. Yes, I'm like, he's most probably gonna make Scott McTominay captain. Boom, he goes and makes Scott McTominay captain. You know what I mean? Such predictions.
Madness.
You know what I mean? Like he's become so predictable. It's annoying. If you go back in the group, I even said it during the Nottingham match that Ten Hag is gonna take off Kobe for Scott, and he did the exact same thing. Even before the ball was kicked, even before we started playing, when I saw that starting lineup, I'm like, he's going to let his favorite boy play. There's no way he's gonna let his boy sit on the bench, especially if United are not gonna go ahead or it's gonna be a stalemate. He is
Mm,
thinking is Scott McTominay to the rescue. Scott McTominay is like his bat signal, his calling card when things are going wrong. We're
mm,
losing. Scott McTominay. You understand what I mean? Just because he did it once, Ben, he did it once this season, once against Brentford, and all of a sudden he just thinks Scott McTominay is this Chicharito. You know what I mean? Like honestly, he thinks it's Chicharito. He thinks Scott McTominay is Chicharito. And like fam, he did
mm,
it once, you know? So
mm,
the way I see it, Scott
mm.
McTominay is still gonna be played. When we get Casemiro back, when we get back, I don't think because the way he has spoken so much about him, you know, it'll almost be blasphemy how when these players get back, there's just no Scott McTominay in sight. You know, he's not talking about Scott McTominay. You know what I mean? Scott McTominay hasn't featured in 2 consecutive games. I just don't think it's gonna happen that way. I don't see it happening, Ben. I see if Casemiro gets back, I promise you, and I'm saying this now with my chest, I promise you, you're gonna see Kobe Mainu more on the bench than you're gonna see Scott McTominay because you'll probably go Casemiro Eriksson, and then the first choice of substitute will most likely be Scott McTominay over Kobe Mainu. I promise you.
That
I
that
promise you. I promise you. I
that
promise
will
you.
be blasphemy, bro.
And
Nah,
for
nah, nah.
me, yeah,
That'll be
I
blasphemy,
promise you. I promise you, Ben. And you know what? To make matters worse, if he's signing, Mason Mount is also available. You're probably going to see Mason Mount and Scott McTominay come in before Kobe Mainu. I promise you. I'm telling you. So
Nah, I
honestly,
don't think so.
it's like
Nah.
I'm happy, not happy about injuries that are gonna come back. Ben, I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. I promise you. You're going to see Mason Mount and Scott McTominay ahead of Kobe Mainu. I promise you. I promise you. I'm telling you, Ben. Ben. Remember how we were crying at the beginning of the season when he
You
was
know how I yeah.
insisting insisting on Mason Mount in that diamond, even when we were getting battered. He was insisting the same way he's insisting on Scott McTominay. The same way it can't get through to his head that this is not his position. He keeps on doing it. And I'm telling you, Ben, the only reason why Kobe Mainu played against Aston Villa, Kobe Mainu and Ericsson, was because we didn't win in 2 consecutive games. We broke that stride of win, lose, win, lose, win, lose because we won, lost, drew. He couldn't risk another loss. You understand? And already everyone was on his case about Scott McTominay, Scott McTominay, Scott McTominay. So he
Okay.
sort of like played it safe. You know what I mean? He's like,
So
there's
so in
nothing
other
to
words,
lose. There's nothing to lose here. If I start Scott McTominay, if I start Kobe and Ericsson and we lose, then he knows that the next game, because I want to continue that, you know what I mean? Well, so he's gonna start Scott McTominay, win with Scott McTominay, and then be like, you see, I started Ericsson, Kobe, we lost. You check. So I think he just did that just to play it safe. You understand what I mean? And then he brought
Really?
in for Nottingham match. He brought in, yeah, 100%. He brought in Kobe and Ericsson for the Nottingham match, right? I think we went. Did we go 2 goals down at halftime? Before halftime, yeah,
No.
or we went 1 goal down.
The goals came in
We
the
went a
second
goal
half.
down in the second half, but yeah. But anyway, first half he saw nothing was happening. He panicked. You know what I mean? I need my wonder boy in the team, Scott McTominay. What was the reason for bringing in Scott McTominay over Kobe Mainoo? What did Kobe Mainoo do wrong in that first half for him to want that decision to take him off the pitch? The only player taken off the pitch, evidently, was Anthony. He was the player that was supposed to be substituted coming in second half, not Kobe. Not Kobe. So for the sole fact that he did that, Ben, and brought in Scotty, I'm sorry. Like for
He
me,
his
when these
excuse
players get back
to
from
excuse
injury,
was energy.
Kobe's gonna fall down that pecking order.
I wanted to
But
jump
Ben,
into that. Like I wanted to
but the
say
thing
something
is,
about that.
even if he talks about energy, like man,
No, I mean I get
it's
it.
like
No, not that I'm
but I
approving what
don't
he said.
get it.
No, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
approve what he
yeah,
said. But that was his
yeah.
thinking. He was saying that Scott McTominay was going to bring energy. I don't know which energy he means.
Dude,
Maybe
I also
I don't
don't
know
get
what
what
energy that this
energy he's
guy
talking
gives.
about.
I don't know. I
Fam,
don't
I
know.
also don't get it. Like,
But
nah,
D, I
man.
wanted
It's
you
yeah,
mentioned
yeah,
you mentioned the Kobe Menu thing, and something that you just
yeah,
said right now, just before. I wanted to say something like I believe that Kobe Menu, the only way Kobe Menu is going to lose his position is if he gets
yeah,
injured and he's out for a very long time. But right now, nah. That boy has proven himself, bro. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, you see the madness that this gaffer is doing. That is all on him.
mm,
He is the one
yeah,
that is trying to be clever and trying to confuse himself. But everybody
yeah,
now know, like everybody in the entire world. D, we've been talking about this.
mm,
Even fans from opposition are
yeah,
telling us that, man, you guys have a
yep,
gem. The way the kid is playing is
dude,
not to be ignored. So if he
yeah,
does what he does, he's going to sack himself faster because people are not going to approve.
true,
You understand? People are gonna be like, nah,
mm,
what the
mm,
fuck?
mm,
Why? Kobe
yeah,
Manu has been consistent. He's been doing this. He's gonna start having to answer very difficult questions. And I've noticed our gaffer, he
yeah,
doesn't really like difficult questions. When they come at him, his face just kind of like,
yep,
he
yep,
he becomes sort of tongue twisted a little bit. So
yeah,
it'll be blasphemy, bro. It will be blasphemy. I'm telling you. Like
yeah,
if he drops Kobe Manu, I don't think
yeah,
I can defend him anymore. I don't think I can.
yeah,
I will not.
mm,
I will not sit here and fight with those that are saying that we want the gaffer to leave, because then I'll be like, no,
yeah,
I understand what you guys are saying, but then at the same time, it's like,
mm,
who can we replace him with? Because it's easy to just
yeah,
get rid of him, but then D, I also wanted to talk about this anyway. But sorry, if you wanted to add something before we jump onto this gaffer situation, because I wanted
um,
to a little bit on the gaffer.
I think I think the last thing I want to say is if Ahmed is gonna chow bench, I, I don't know. I don't
To
know.
who?
You know what I mean? I
To
don't know.
who? Rashid?
To Anthony. I feel Anthony,
No, I think
a
you'll be
Brazilian
benching to.
Anthony. So I I honestly believe that Ahmed needs to, because I in like I said, remember what I said about Kobe Mainoo? Remember what I said about Kobe Mainoo, and that and like I have a feeling that he's gonna prioritize Kobe Mainoo because Kobe and Ahmed will two of the academy boys, ahead of Charles Sholington and Hannibal and Gore and all these other players that he really prioritized in the preseason. So it's almost like he had a
Yeah.
game plan for them, you know.
Yeah.
So with Ahmed immediately like coming off injury, back in training, and he's already a substitute option on the bench, and he's actually coming off the bench. For me, that just showed that Ten Hag wants to start using him. So I'm expecting the same way we said about Kobe. Like he made that feature, and we're like, look, we're expecting Kobe very, very soon to be in that starting 11. It's the same thing I'm expecting from
Mm,
Ahmed. So I think Ahmed just needs to start a
mm,
game,
mm.
go and prove himself, you know, and then we take it from there. So I'm crossing my fingers that this January, he's given the opportunity to go out there and prove that and prove why he should be starting ahead of Anthony. And I really hope that Ten Hag will see, you know what I mean? See,
Mm.
like he needs to be starting Ahmed ahead of Anthony. Otherwise, man, I'm losing my mind.
Are we
But anyway,
putting
yeah,
are
that's
we
what I wanted
putting
to say.
pressure on Ahmad? Are we putting any pressure on
No,
Ahmad? Because
no.
like
The reason why
I don't want that
look, the reason
situation where people are like, "Oh, he's not doing any," because that's the demand of football, and
look,
that's the
and
thing that
you know,
annoys me about certain
you, you
people.
know, you know, Ben, I get it. But the reason why I'm saying that I don't think, if anything, you can say that the pressure is being put on Mainu, not on Ahmad, because Ahmad was a starter for Atalanta, and I think a lot of people forget that. You know what I mean? In the Italian league, and Atalanta is not like a Nottingham or
No,
whatever, or you know
he
what I
played a
mean.
few
So
games, T. He played a few
he
games.
was a
He played
yes,
a
he
few
played a
games.
few games,
He was
but
in the
he,
academy.
he
He
is
didn't. Yeah.
yes, yes. But what I'm saying is that apart from Kobe, he has already been on that like big stage, so to say. You know what I mean? And played
Okay.
with the big
Yeah.
boys and already proved that he can play with the big boys. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like what,
Even at
two, three
international
years
level.
ago, you know,
Yeah.
even in an international level. And he has grown and matured from then. You understand? Plus, he went out on loan and played for, was it Sunderland, yeah, in the
He
championship.
did
And
well.
now he has come back. And you check what I'm saying. So for Ahmed, this is just another day in the office. You understand? So if you have to tell me which of the two players were putting more pressure on, I'll probably say Kobe because this is Kobe's first, dive into the big boy league. Ahmed been
Mm.
there before. It's routine for him. You know. So for me, I don't feel there's any pressure being put on Ahmed. For me, I feel he just needs to come in, start his game, and unless Anthony can come and tell us otherwise, like Anthony needs to pull a Luke Shaw. Remember when we bought Alex Tellers and then Luke Shaw's
Look, so
just I don't know, fam. I don't know what happened to Luke Shaw. It's
became
like
a
he hit a
beast.
ceiling, and then as soon as we bought Alex Tellers, he just broke through that ceiling and didn't look back. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
wow, so he can actually
Adios.
be this player. You check what I'm saying. Luke Shaw refused. He's like, I'm going to be this player you want me to be, whether you like it or not. So
Preach.
unless Anthony can pull that off, unless he feels under threat and pulls off a Luke Shaw, nah, fam. I just don't
Listen,
see how Anthony should be starting over Ahmed.
and I want to be a little bit compassionate here because I just realized something.
Yeah.
Because Anthony has literally been going through something, guys. Like we need to point that
True,
out.
true,
And
true,
I
true.
remember, I remember he did I don't know if it was an interview or something where he talked about the ex players. They're
Yeah,
doing nothing to help them. As ex
yeah,
players, you'd expect them, like when players are going through these problems and stuff, they would reach out, like try to find out, yo, what's going on? Like
mm,
try to offer
yeah,
a helping
yeah,
hand or speak to them.
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's like, all these guys do right now is just criticize, 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 criticize
yeah,
without
yeah,
offering any help. You don't know how I'm doing. The amount of he
yeah.
mentioned that, and I remember listening to that interview
Mm,
and feeling so bad because I realized at
yeah,
that very moment that, and this is something that I normally do because I was also a football player. Sometimes I just put myself in their shoes and I'm like,
yeah.
fuck, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I actually pull myself back. But
Mm,
that guy has been through going
yeah.
through a lot. Now, how the
True.
club are dealing with the situation is what they need to take care of because he's not right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah,
showing. You know, now
Yeah.
you'd
Yeah.
expect a top club like Manchester United to have to sort out this thing, like to find a way to help this guy, but we're not doing it.
Yeah.
So
True.
in terms of that, I just wanted to throw out some compassion to him and say that no, we understand what's going
Yeah.
on, and
Yeah.
we are frustrated because we know what you're capable of, and we know what you can do, but you're not doing it. At the same
Yeah.
time, the football is so demanding that we
Yeah.
just want, and we completely forget about the stuff that you're going through, which is not right, you know. But
True.
we need to
Yeah.
have a little bit of compassion about him, like to understand that he's going through something. But his performances,
Yeah.
like, but even if he's going through these things, how is it that these managers and stuff don't see it? How do you
Exactly.
see like this
Exactly.
man,
And why are
like
they
this
still
player is
why are they
not
still starting
right?
him?
Why are you stay?
Exactly.
Because of ability, but
Mm,
his
mm.
mind is not there. So that's another thing, that's another problem on the fitness and the coaching department, is that we're not taking care of these boys,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
but at the same time,
Yeah,
it's
man.
like, dude, we're not going to, like, if you're going to play for United and you're down, cool,
Yeah.
but then give your all. Like, that is the
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
about this club. Like, if you're having a
Yeah.
bad game, at least have a bad game giving your all.
True.
Have a bad game, um running, chasing people, like doing the basics. Like, you
Yeah.
know that it's not working. You're not scoring. You're not assisting. All right. How else can I help the team?
Yeah.
I'll defend. I'll win those
Yeah.
second balls. I'll win every aerial challenge. Every tackle, I'll try and beat it.
Yeah.
Every sprint. The people, we
Yeah.
see it. The fans, we see it. Even if things are off, we
Yep.
see it.
Yep.
But don't come
Mm-hmm.
here and then frown and then get upset at us.
Dude.
Like, yo, like we did something. No, 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 no. No, no, no. These
Mm.
players, they tend to do it like
Yeah.
that. It's like they'll go through something, then so almost like flip it around and make it look like it's our fault that we're pissed off at them for the
Mm.
performances that they do. But it's like,
Yeah.
nah, dude, if you're not right, just don't
Mm.
play, you know? But
Yep. 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 Yep.
the gaffer, I wanted to talk about the
Mm.
gaffer because I felt
Yeah.
like this is something that we need to talk about, because I've been feeling that there is a very high chance that we might lose this gaffer. And for some reason now
Mm.
I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I'm slowly
Yeah.
preparing my
Yeah.
mind to getting used to it, like to getting used to the idea that he could go,
Yeah.
he could leave. But now
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was thinking now, because I was like, United is a very historic club. Sometimes history, going back in history and remembering things and trying to understand where we come from, these things can help. You look at Arteta. I like to
Yeah.
use Arteta because he's somebody that revived his his Arsenal career. Like, people wanted his head, but he revived it.
Yeah.
Erik Ten
Yeah.
Hag still remains up there with the win ratio of any manager that have been there at the club. He hasn't really been given,
Yeah.
like, this is now what, 1 year now, 1 year and 30, what, sorry, 18 months now, or what, or is
Yeah.
it more? He hasn't really been given the time, the amount of time
Yeah.
to finish off. For some reason, I have this
Mm.
very sickening feeling that he might not even finish this season. I don't know why. I don't know why. Like,
Yeah.
if he's gonna continue doing these
Yeah.
mad
Yeah.
substitutions and mad things,
Yeah.
people might just get fed up. The board might just get fed up. The guys up top, they're like, nah, he's not the guy. Then they get rid of him.
Mm.
But he will always come back and said that these players are like this, or these players, I didn't have my team fully fit. Like, is that
Yeah.
excuse still valid or no? Or are we at this point now where it's like all bets are off? Like, the gaffer now, like, now we've given him enough time. Like, basically, what I'm asking, have we given this manager enough time? Like, to even think about sacking him, even though we are not, like, things are bad, but they're not very bad.
Yeah.
Like, we are not
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
bottom half of the season, of
Yeah.
the table. We're not,
Yeah.
nah. Things are
Yeah.
bad,
Yeah.
but they're not that bad. So
Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that, my guy, because it has been itching on me because I don't know if I
Yeah.
should be like, yeah, you know what, let's get rid of him, or
Yeah.
because I'm still let's keep him. I'm still
Yeah.
let's keep the manager, regardless of what's happening
Yeah.
around us. Because I go back to Sir Alex Ferguson, I go back to those managers that were in situations where like this, i.e. Sir
Yeah.
Alex Ferguson is the perfect example. This is why I'm like, United, we are a club that we should sometimes use this. Is Erik Ten Hag not the guy that we should give the opportunity to? Because if let's say we do sack him and we do keep those players that we're going to have, which superstar manager is going to come here and do as Alex Ferguson and
Yeah.
win and put us in contention for anything? Honestly, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah.
who? Anyway, your thoughts, my guy.
Yeah. 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 So on the part about have we given him enough time? No, I don't think we've given Ten Hag enough time. So I
Mm,
still believe that we should allow him the same way we allowed Ole to have his 3 seasons is the same way we should allow Ten Hag to have his 3 seasons and then take it
mm,
from there, right?
mm,
Number
mm,
two, I think the point where people stop backing Ten Hag on the
mm,
excuse of our players are injured
mm.
was the time when he started making weird decisions in his starting 11. And I think that's
Yeah.
been consistent since the beginning of the season. If Ten Hag never achieved what he achieved last season, he would have probably been sacked by now. You know, if he had an okay season, if he like finished
True.
fourth, or if he finished like
That's
fifth,
facts.
if he didn't get to any final, you know what I mean? Like if it was just like a very average season, and then he had the same performance that he's having this season without what he achieved last season, gone. Ben, I promise you, right now we've been conversating about another manager. You know what I
I
mean? So I
You're
think last
fucking
season
spot on.
has really his last season's what he did last season has really helped him stay in a lot of United fans' hearts, you know, and being compassionate because we've seen a glimpse of what he can do with the club. So he's really shown us that it's very possible for us to be great with him. So that's why we still feel like we need to give him a chance. But it's the decision making, fam. You know, and I think that's why a lot of the fan base have got to a point where it's like, you know what, we backed you, but you didn't help yourself. You know, and that's why I think for the first time, right, in since post Alex Ferguson, I think it's the first time United fans are saying this manager is going to sack himself. You understand what I mean? A lot of the time we have spoken about the club should sack, the club should sack, the club should sack Mourinho, the club should sack Ole. You know, for the first time since post Ferguson, we are saying he is going to sack himself. If he gets sacked, it's on him. We don't want it. We don't want him to be sacked. We're not calling for the club to get him sacked. He's literally doing this to himself. And he's doing this to himself by not starting the players that he needs to be starting because we sympathize with him. That look, fam, yes, you have injuries, but so do every fucking club in the Premier League. You're not the only one. Yes, we get it that our injuries are more significant. Other teams just don't want to see it. They just want to be difficult and stubborn and just say, no, United, no, no. This is the, you know
True.
what I mean? But they don't want to
Yeah.
realize the realism of it that our injuries are more significant than yours, you know?
Mm,
But the thing that doesn't help Ten Hag is that it's stupid things like why were you not starting Amrabat and Kobe? You know, before Ericsson was fully fit. Why did you keep insisting on Marcus Rashford when he was having poor performances game in, game out? Why were you insisting on Anthony when he was having performances, poor ones, game in, game out? You had much was Pelestri, who was fully fit. You're not playing him. You had Garnacho, who you dropped. And in all fairness, we all sort of agreed that okay, Garnacho shouldn't be a starting player, and then he's come to prove himself. But even though, right, why were you not starting him? Why were you not starting Varane? Why were you not starting Lindelof? Why are you starting Scott McTominay? You know, why were you starting Mason Mount in a midfield that clearly you could see was not working? You know, so I think the decision making this season for Ten Hag has been very poor, and a lot of fans have just they've just like what we're done. You understand what I mean? We're not calling you for you
But
to be sacked, but
mm,
whatever's gonna happen, just know it's on you. Because we backed you, we
but
continue backing you, but you can't keep going and making these decisions and expect us to still have
but
your
D,
back.
couldn't you like okay? Couldn't you at this point now say that the chaos that's in United is contributing to the chaotic decisions that are being played, like that are being made? Like it's just chaos. It's chaos everywhere. Chaotic at the pitch, everywhere, and it,
Ben, you know what? I I I understand what you're saying, but I still
mm,
feel at the end of the day, when it comes to game week, and we need to go out there and the manager needs to put a starting 11, I
mm,
think that thing is isolated from everything else that's going on. Because you can't come and tell me that a leaky roof, you know what I mean, stopped Ten Hag from not dropping Scott McTominay. You understand what I mean? You can't tell me that the
mm,
dragon sail made him not drop Rashford long time ago. You can't tell me that all these external factors contributed to his decision when it came to picking a starting 11 to go and play the next team. You understand? I understand. I acknowledge. I'm on board with Glazers out. I get it. You know what I mean? But that's got nothing to do with why the fuck you brought in Scott McTominay when Kobe Mainu did nothing wrong at halftime. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So for me, I feel like it's a cop out, and you're just protecting the manager for no reason at all. You can't come in and say, no, but who else was he supposed to bring in? Glazers. If we bought, it's too late. We need to deal with what we're dealing with now. You understand what I mean? All clubs want players at the beginning of the season that they don't get. Some get the ones they want, some get the ones they don't. Some all clubs get injuries, all this, all of that. All clubs go through it. This is not unique to United. You understand? But the manager needs to go in there and do what's right. Yes, I didn't get XYZ player, whatever, whatever, whatever. But it doesn't mean that I should start Scott McTominay ahead of Ericsson or ahead of Kobe. Why is Pelestri on the bench? You get what I mean? Why are you beefing with Varane? We don't even know if it was a real beef or what. And then you, you, you hear what I'm saying? You know what I
I
mean?
get
So
it.
for me,
I do.
I can't keep on, blaming other things that have got nothing to do with those type of decisions. Those decisions are isolated between the manager and the players, and it's got nothing to do with anything else outside of that. So if you want to go and lose the game because he brought Scott McTominay at halftime, I don't want to hear it's because of the Glazers. That's because he chose to put Scott McTominay in at halftime. You understand? That's because the players on the pitch decided to switch off. That's why we lost. We didn't lose because of a leaking roof. So yeah, man, that's basically my opinion about the Ten Hag thing. Just like you, I share the same feeling that I don't
Uh,
think Ten Hag is going to survive the season. I don't know. I also have this thing, and just
but I
like
also
you, I've also told myself that I need to become more comfortable with the decision that we may not have Ten Hag moving forward, and we may have another manager in place. Who that manager is gonna be, I don't know. I'm also starting trying to come to terms with it because of the decisions that he constantly keeps on making. It's just not going. And you know what makes it even worse, Ben? Sorry, this is the last thing I want to say. I woke up in the morning and I can't remember who posted that video on the group. And they were like, "Oh, United fans are happy that Onana's going to AFCON," and then they've got this reel of Altai Beninda, and his goalkeeping. And I was watching that reel, and it's like my heart just broke. You know what I mean?
I
My
I
heart
haven't seen it.
broke when I watched that video. Fam,
Mm.
dude, you don't want to see that video. I'm telling you now, your heart will be shattered because you'll be like, "Are you telling me that Onana is actually the best option as a keeper we have right now?" Ben, it's scary.
Don't
When you
tell me
watch
that.
that video, I'm telling
Don't
Ben, I
fucking
promise you,
tell me that.
when you watch that video, you're gonna start crying. You're gonna start crying. You're gonna be like, "What? How are we gonna survive without Onana?
Wait,
How are we going to survive?" Ben,
is he in United colors?
no, it's not in United colors. They're just showing him when he was playing. I don't know, for Galatasaray or wherever we got him from, Fenerbahce. I think we got him from Galatasaray. But basically, they're showing him as a keeper in his previous club and whatever. Ben, the way Altai goalkeeps, I'm telling you now, you're going to cry. Altai makes Onana look like prime Manuel Neuer. I'm telling you, he makes him look like prime Buffon. I'm telling you, you do not want to see that real. Ben, I wanted to cry. I'm like, what have we done?
No,
What have
is
we
it
done here?
was it compiled in such a way? Because it's easy. You can make those
Yes,
kind
no,
of compilations even for
Ben,
Nana, David, yeah.
Ben, I get it. I get it.
Hmm.
There's ways of compiling videos, and then obviously you're like, nah, you know what I mean? You're just making it seem
But
bad
that
as it is.
scared you. It
But when I
scared
was
you.
looking, but what scared me, Ben? What scared me was the techniques that he was using when he was making those mistakes. Because I've seen mistakes Onana makes with this technique, and you're like, you know what? It's not that bad. When you see outties, Ben, you're just like, it's game over. We're gonna get battered 10-0 by every
So
team. It's
wait.
horrible. It's
I need to
horrible.
get this straight. I need to get this straight.
Mm.
Altai Bende has been delayed because they believe he's not good enough. Based on what you're telling me, it's almost like they don't believe he's good enough. And if he's not good
But
enough,
then why did they buy
these guys
him?
sat there and decided to let go of David De Gea
Dude,
to buy on, like,
mm,
what the fuck?
to
So
buy Onana
Tom
and
Heaton is better
Benyender.
than Tom Heaton is
Yes,
better than
yes,
Biender. So then we don't want.
yes.
I don't. If
I'd
that's the
rather have
case, I don't want to fucking see Biender. I don't, bro.
at
I
this
will
point,
stick to
I would
Heaton.
rather have
Heaton is
yes, I would rather have Heaton
Heaton is
as
solid.
the and you know what, Ben? You know what? You know what's gonna be really funny is if the game against what are we playing next? Spurs. If we're playing
Tottenham.
Spurs
I think
and
there's a
yeah,
weekend
Spurs, yeah,
game. Weekend,
Spurs. Yes, it's Spurs. It's Spurs, yeah.
but
On the
are we not
12th.
playing FA Cup, dude?
I don't know. Maybe we're playing F. Yeah. I'll check on the United website
Soon, huh?
because I was checking on the what you call
On the
this.
8th.
Yeah,
On the
yeah, yeah,
8th.
yeah. All right,
Yeah.
all right. I won't be surprised if that match we start Tom Heaton. Because if we start Tom Heaton, then that means I wasn't seeing things when I was watching that reel.
Yeah.
That means that
Yeah.
United have fucked up bad.
Big
They have
time.
fucked up Ben.
I'm
Big
telling
time.
you.
If they don't start Binyinda, Ben.
This is a fucking
That's when
conspiracy, bro.
that's when I know
Like,
that
this
this
is
club is
them trying
useless.
to.
That means I know this
It
club is
makes
properly
sense.
useless. Dude,
It makes sense.
because
Why is
they've
Onana
literally just
playing
bought
every
a
game?
keeper just to sit on the bench. Dude, every single game. It will make sense. It will make sense if Tom Heaton starts. Then it's like, yeah, they've realized their cock up. They probably watched them during training and they all just held their mouths. Some of them just held their foreheads and they're like, what the fuck have we done here? You know what I mean? What have we actually done?
HD. I
Because
I
if
I
we
I
put
I
this
I,
boy out into the world,
I wish you
yeah,
didn't tell me that. I wish you didn't tell me. Like,
dude,
I
I
wish you didn't
promise you,
even mention that there's this fucking video. Because
dude,
you know what's weird?
I am
I've been
sure, yeah.
uh,
Oh, so yeah,
I've
we're
been
playing Wigan
trying to.
Athletic.
Yeah,
We're playing Wigan Athletic on the 8th.
yeah.
Yeah. FA Cup. Yeah.
Mm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Tom Heaton. Because literally it means that they saw Binyenda in training and they're like, hey dude, what have we done here? Like, what have we actually done? You know what I mean? Like, what have we done? Because you know what, Ben, to be honest, every time we read out the what you call this, every time we read out the starting 11, and sometimes we see the bench. I can't even remember if I'm actually seeing Benyina on the bench or not. Is Benyina
I
on
do.
the bench?
Yeah, he
Has he
is.
been on the bench? He has.
He is.
Okay.
He
Hey
has
man,
been.
the way
Yeah.
Ben, you don't want to see that video, fam. That video, yay.
Now I will jump on that thing. I need to
Number
see
one.
that nonsense. I need. You said it's in the group.
It's in the
You said
group.
it's in the.
It's in the group. I think yeah, either Tebow or Temwani posted the video or Peter. One of those three posted the video. And I was just like, oh my god, what have we done? You know? Because I
It's,
get reels where they try to make players look extremely bad or they try to make players look extremely good. I get it. But
uh,
like I said, it was just how he was diving,
Ah,
the
this
timing, the positioning. And I'm like,
on
and I'm
X.
like, no, 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 no. Hmm? Yeah,
It's the
yeah,
video
yeah.
on X. Ah, okay, okay.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Eesh.
And I'm
I
like,
will check
no,
it
no,
out.
no, no, no. What have we done? No, no. Like,
And here we were,
it's mental,
busy
man.
crying out for Altai
Yeah.
Bende. Oh, Altai
Advocating
gonna
for
save us.
Altai. Advocating. But yeah, man.
No,
But
but you know what,
otherwise,
D? We no 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 no.
yeah.
We are united. We support our guys.
True, true, true. 100%,
If he's not
100%.
good enough, unfortunately for him, he's not good enough. Like it,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
have to
yeah.
move on. I think the sooner
Yeah.
we get to see our goalkeeper, I think the better it will. Like it will help the fans digest and start making plans, like to start deciding what should go
Yeah.
next. Because man, I feel like David De Gea is going to
Yeah.
sign for a team this January, and that makes me upset. Like I don't like to share.
Yeah,
Like your
yeah.
ex girlfriend or something like that. Like you don't want another
Yes.
nigga. You don't want to see another boy or another guy
Yeah, 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 yeah,
that
yeah.
like
Yeah.
that you're acquainted with the item. You know what I mean? So it's the same
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
with David De Gea.
Yeah.
I literally do not want to see David De Gea in the Premier League. Just like how
Yeah.
Tottenham didn't want Harry Kane to be in
Yeah.
any Prem team. I don't want David De
Yeah, yeah,
Gea. Like
yeah.
it's an insult. Dude,
Yeah.
imagine he goes to Newcastle. Imagine David De Gea goes
Yeah.
to Newcastle and fucking helps them grow because they're not going to concede a lot of goals. David De Gea is going to
Yeah.
be coming back with a different kind of swagger, kind of
True, true.
like you thought I was gone, huh? Like I'm gonna show you
Yeah.
guys who I am and just be
Yeah.
David De Gea for years to come because
Yeah.
he's still young.
Mm.
He's still bloody young, and we got rid of him. We're gonna
Yeah.
meet him. He's gonna
Mm.
cause problems for us. He's gonna be blocking these
Yeah.
players that are not scoring. Like,
Yeah.
nah, man, nah,
Yeah, yeah.
nah, nah, nah. This is going to be one of the
Yeah.
biggest scandal cock ups in Manchester United. Selling, like getting rid of
Mhm.
David. And the weird and worst thing about it is that Ten Hag
Mm.
pushed for it. He
Yep.
wanted the signing. So he has to die
Yeah.
by this sword. He has to live by it. He has to
Yeah.
fucking die by it because
Yeah. Yeah.
none. But
Nah,
wait,
man, I hear
was
I
Altay his
listen.
was Altay Bendi he's signing like
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, I think yeah, he was his signing. But you know what, dog? We'll talk more
mm,
about this. You know what I mean?
mm,
We'll talk more about this. Let's leave it here for the wrap up. I kind of
yeah,
feel like this will
yeah,
need maybe a part two. Then we can jump into like the
the
signings. You know
nitty
what I mean? I
gritties.
think I think
Yeah.
yeah. Let's leave it for a part two. So let's wrap
All
it up
right.
over here, and then
Yeah.
we'll have another episode where we'll jump into a part two of this episode.
All right.
So yeah,
We
thanks
can
again
keep
once
on talking
again
and talking.
for you guys listening to this. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So want to wish you guys again happy new year. We hope all your goals and dreams come to fruition. Like we said, this year we've got goals that we want to achieve. So in helping us achieve and get to those goals, we really appreciate if you do like our content and you do want to listen to more of what we have to say. Subscribe. If not, we're not forcing you to subscribe. It's up to you if you want to be part of this community or not. Like we said, we're also still available on Spotify, so you can go over there and listen to us. If you don't prefer to see our faces on YouTube, it's all good. But yeah, with that being said, thank you once again for listening to this episode of the Glory Reds podcast. You can catch us on all your favorite podcasting platforms, Glory Reds FC, and of course, we're also now on YouTube. And with that being said, we are out. Peace.
Peace.